Boss Level is a terrific film. The time-looping action comedy has superb performances, incredible action sequences, and just the right amount of authentic heart. Both critics and audiences liked it, but no one is talking about it. Its international box office takings are dismal, and domestically it was dropped on Hulu, alongside the likes of this, where it's quickly disappeared. Boss Level has all the right elements of another Die Hard, so why hasn't this film been elevated to blockbuster status? Well, to turn Boss Level from a good movie into a great one, here are 5 easy fixes. 1-sheets need to catch people's attention, and the poster for Boss Level just isn't going to do it. Montage posters are fine when you're dealing with known properties, but Boss Level is something new and unique. Not that you'd know it from the poster. Boss Level is a fast-paced, time-looping action movie that leans heavily into its comedy, and none of that is evident in its poster. In fact, Boss Level's poster is downright misleading. Firstly, this isn't a Mel Gibson film, and the marketing team misjudged his appeal by giving him top billing. The actual star, Frank Grillo, is also placed in such a way that it looks like he works for Gibson. He's also in army fatigues, which, coupled with the helicopters in the background, gives the impression that this is a war movie. Naomi Watts staring off blankly into space adds nothing to the tenor of the film or her character, and Michelle Yeoh, who only has a total of 90 seconds worth of screen time, is a red herring.
Motherfucker.
If you want to sell an iconic film, you need iconic branding. Look at the marketing for John Wick 2 as comparison. Firstly, it's an accurate representation of the movie it's selling, one serious but calm man against overwhelming odds. It's also unique and high-end. The poster looks considered as part of the marketing rather than as an afterthought. For Boss Level, I would have gone for a Deadpool-style parody poster, and specifically, I would have parodied this poster. Swap out a frantic-looking Marty McFly for a frantic-looking Frank Grillo. Stick a ridiculously oversized gun in hands and pile a couple of bodies of his assassins on the bonnet of his car. Action, comedy, time travel, and sure to get your attention. My first instinct was to replace him, and it's not because he's not good in this film, he's actually pretty great. Gibson brings just the right amount of verbose megalomania and scary psychopath the role needs. His acting ability, however, is hard to unspool from his public image. A temperature check of his press and his string of low-profile, direct-to-DVD failures tells any casting director he's an unsafe bet. So he needs a slow reveal. His lengthy monologue in the first act could have and really should have been delivered to Roy at the end of the second act, and that's when we should meet him for the first time. The audience shouldn't even know Mel Gibson is in the movie until he turns up in the 11th hour as the man behind the curtain. This serves 2 purposes. Firstly, it will circumvent the public relations problems because it'll appear he's not taking any credit for his work. By removing his name and face from the marketing material, it'll elevate Gibson by catching the audience off guard when he eventually steps out of the shadows. Secondly, it'll give the film an additional weight, the feeling that there was an even greater threat we didn't even know about. One thing though, if you are going to keep Mel Gibson,
as for the Jews,
maybe watch your wisecracks. Michelle Yeoh is a terrific actress who's not doing much as Roy's sword mentor Dai Fang. There's a cutaway montage scene of Dai teaching Roy how to beat Guan Yin, but her entire appearance doesn't last longer than a minute. It's a criminal waste of an interesting actress. And another easy fix. Much like the video game the movie is based around, Roy needs to keep returning to the start and beating the same bad guys to get to the next level. And he does okay until he comes up against Guan Yin. So much so that he needs to go off on a side quest to learn how to beat her. Given her prowess, then why not cast someone the audience knows would be tough to beat? Not only would this be a better use of an acting and martial arts resource like Michelle Yeoh, she'd be playing almost a parody of characters she's played in the past and would really lend an element of danger to the character. Better yet, it's a fun role, and it's clear Yeoh and Grillo have a chemistry. It could have been played to great comedic advantage, and it's very much a missed opportunity. Roy's life is like a video game where he needs to keep learning the moves of his opponents to get to the next level. And you know how I know that? Because the movie keeps telling me, explicitly and repeatedly. The video game overlays are an unnecessary distraction. It gives the movie an element of kitsch and trivializes the tension. It sends the message of, meh, don't worry about it, it's just a game, and it overlays the movie with a sense of silliness rather than chaotic fun. We get the theme on our own. It's laid out nicely when Roy catches up with his kid at the gamer event. But don't spell it out for us. Better for the audience to find a metaphor on their own. The third act has a problem in two parts. The first is that it's rushed. It starts when Roy learns he has a chance to save Gemma, and it ends 10 minutes later. The stakes are raised because now he has a chance to fix things. But after a whole movie of watching him stumble, he sails through this set of circumstances without a scratch. He mows down every obstacle, including the big bad, and it's over. Where's the tension? After saving Gemma, they both should have been in jeopardy again straight away. There should have been a shootout over the spindle, with the damage inflicted on the machine threatening to destroy the planet without the option of a reset. Roy should have taken a bullet. Gemma should have picked up a weapon. For the love of God, drag it out a bit. Give the finale a real sense of will he or won't he make it. The second problem is that there are two versions of the final scenes floating around, and both are pretty vague. Depending on which country you live in, after Roy saves Gemma, she tells him that he has to step into the Osiris spindle to stop it from blowing up, but he might not live. The second version has Roy stepping into the spindle so that the day will reset with one last time. But given it'll be the last reset, there's only one chance to save Gemma again, and then both versions abruptly end, leaving audiences in every country screaming at the closing credits. Making your audience think with an ambiguous ending isn't the end of the world, but this is the wrong movie to do that with. Why? Because the last thing you want them to do is think about this movie. If the dental hygienist was in on the plan, why did she stick around until the morning? And did Gemma actually cause the malfunction of the spindle using Roy's DNA? And if that's the case, none of this, including the explosion, would have happened. And why kill the kid? That doesn't make any strategic or logical sense. And you see the problem. Better to solve both problems by placing Roy in the Osiris spindle, resetting the day one final time, then have him run those 14 minutes to save Gemma where his actual life is now on the line, where there are actual stakes now, because if he dies, it's game over. That's how you build the tension. It's his last chance, and he's on the clock. You want your audience to be holding their breath, not doing math.